Hello and welcome to another episode of All Elite Arcade. As you can see, we're both in the same room. It must be a pay-per-view weekend.
Special weekend.
That's
baby.
right. Big weekend because we're here in Texas, obviously, for our big pay-per-view at Globe Life. It has not happened yet.
Not yet.
You actually know more about it than we do because you're now in the future. That's how this works. I hope you're enjoying your Monday, and I hope the pay-per-view was fantastic.
I hope so, too.
But we're having a great week. We're seeing a lot of people. I did a bunch of StarCast stuff.
Yep.
Met a ton of people. You did a Upper Deck business.
Yes, which was a blast. So much fun. It's always so fun, too, at these weekends and these events to get to meet and talk to so many of the AEW fans. So, again, for everyone who's come out, thank you so much.
I saw 4 hours worth of people and, genuinely had emotional moments where I was like, wow, I really changed people's lives.
It's very humbling.
It is very humbling. We do a lot of pro wrestling on television, but to actually meet the people, it reminds you, you would have an actual impact on people.
It really is the most rewarding part of the job.
Yes, by
Seriously,
far.
It really is.
By far.
So.
Texas, though, very warm.
Oh, so
hot this week.
Oh
my God. But we're here to talk video games. This podcast is not about the heat. It is, in fact, about the video games that we've played and the video games news of the week. I am on the road. You're on the road as well.
Yeah.
But that does not mean we are not playing a bunch of stuff because I actually have a decent amount of stuff under my belt.
Oh, nice.
First of all, because of my travel game, I will start with my travel game.
Yep.
I'll get into the big game I've been playing after. But I'm right back on Hades, too.
Oh,
I've put in, I think, another 8 hours into it. It's very, very good. And
I'm so sorry. I just quickly want to say this because I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the podcast. But I, for the first time, for a few hours a couple weeks ago, did finally get to actually play Hades.
Yes.
I get it.
It's great.
It's
my God,
good.
It's so good
because I have such minimal experience with roguelikes. But anyway, please continue.
So good. So I've continued to play it onward. If you played the first one, then the second one is a lot of the same things. But that's not a bad thing. Incredible art, incredible voice acting. The music is incredible as well. They've really structured the game in a way that it feels like you have a lot more stuff, which is insane because this is early access, and I do not see where the end in sight is for the current build of what this is, and we're not even close to a 1.0 release from my understanding of the roadmap. But the cool thing from this, and I don't know if I talked about this last week, but the previous Hades games was all about going deeper and deeper into the underworld.
Yep.
Hades being your father, and you're essentially supposed to reach all the way down to defeat Hades so that you can leave the underworld, try to look for your mom. This new game is actually, you're the second child of Hades, and your family has been taken away by the Titan known as Kronos. If you know mythology, I'm actually a surprisingly big mythology head, but the Titans actually birthed some of the gods. So Kronos is actually the father of Hades, of Zeus, and about most of the first generation of gods.
Okay.
So it's a being above even gods in this video game. So your main goal is to traverse not now hell, although you do that. You are in this weird purgatory where you are going through the same locations and similar locations from the first game in the underground, but now because you're in purgatory, you're also capable of heading to Mount Olympus, which is going on this heavenly run where you're fighting angels and you're fighting essentially the polar opposites of what you were fighting before. So you can make a choice as you're progressing here. Now I'm about 25 hours in. 10 hours in, they give you the choice now to choose which way you go.
That's really cool.
If you are a person who've played a lot of Hades on Hades 2, if you go down the route that goes to the underworld, you're seeing a lot of characters and you're seeing a lot of stuff that references the first thing and kind of fills up the gaps of the story. But as you're progressing onwards on towards heaven or towards Mount Olympus, you're seeing a completely different side of the game. So it's story-wise, it's an incredible beat. I'm having a ton of fun, but the main part of this is just playing these 30 minutes to 40 minutes loops are perfect for me. It's especially when I'm traveling on a flight. Usually I've got either from 1.5 hours to 4 hours. I can get 2 loops in, maybe I get 5 loops in, and then my Steam Deck's practically dead. But it's the perfect amount for me. I play in, I get a little bit in there, I get a little bit of lore, juicy lore at the very end of my runs, and I'm having a blast. All the new weaponry, a lot of the new character interactions. I'm very, very invested as of yet.
I have Hades 2 purchased on Steam, ready to go, but I have not pulled the trigger yet. But you're getting me more and more.
You should give it
out.
And honestly, if you wait till 1.0, still a very good idea. But at this moment, it feels so complete. You will not feel like you're making a bad decision at all. It is well worth playing.
Kind of like No Rest for the Wicked right now.
Exactly. Yes, and on that subject, surprisingly, I played a few more hours of that. Last week I told you about how much it was kicking my ass. Now that I'm 10 hours in, I am having the hardest time to advance in this game. I will say I did get mad playing it this time around because I played 2.5 hours and got zero progress. To the point where I was like, I think I'm bad at this game. I'll never play it again. That's not the truth. Yeah. I did I'm on a 3-day break right now.
Good. Sometimes you need that.
You need it. And I'm hoping that it's kind of like the previous Dark Souls games or everything else I've played before, where if I give some distance, I come back. And if I just achieve one thing, I'll be back on a roll. Right. Very good, incredible game, but very, very challenging. Oof. And then the final one that I played this week is the big game that I've been waiting for a while now. It's the PS5 exclusive, and that's Death Stranding 2.
Oh, let's go. Yes. I can't wait to hear about this.
Yes, I couldn't wait to talk about this because I was waiting for it for a very, very long time. I enjoyed the first Death Stranding. I have conflicting opinions on it. I thought it had a lot of clutter that I didn't love. Didn't love the combat in the first game. The story's kind of all over the place. If you're into Kojima stuff, it's fine. A little confusing, not my favorite part.
Pretty out there still, I'm assuming.
Oh my god, even the second game is still very out there.
I do love me some Kojima, though. Some out there Kojima.
You know what? In what I enjoy of the second one is they kind of took away the serious aspect of it, and we understand this is zany.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna double down on it. So that within 10 hours, in the first 10 hours, you're in one part of the world. You explore Mexico, and it's kind of like a tutorial area. You're relearning what it is to pack your pack. You have a big backpack that you could sort a ton of stuff on it. You could put it on your exosuit, and you're figuring out how to walk and stuff. But within those 10 hours, they reintroduce a lot of the previous stuff, which is collaboration, building between other people on the internet, building bridges, building paths, with hooks, with ropes, or ladders and so on. And within the first 10 hours, they also give you the motorcycle, which is something it took a very long time in the first game. And that's such a world changer for this because it really doesn't feel like you have to grind this game that much. You really do feel like you are getting through much faster. Now I've gone through that first 10 hours of tutorialization. I'm in the second map. I will not disclose what happens in it. But now that it's way open, this map is gigantic. And I'm having so much more fun than I was from the first one. And way more than I thought I ever would with Death Stranding. I don't know what. They refined the movement and the walking. They refined the combat. It really feels like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh,
where,
nice.
If you approached a base, you could approach it in several ways. You could be sneaky. You could use all kinds of extra gadgets.
One of the coolest things about that game.
Oh, by far. You could throw a balloon in the air, and the balloon has a sign on it, which distracts people, and then you could go behind them. You could pickpocket a weapon, and then you could use that weapon on them. You could do a lot of weird, cool stuff as of yet in Death Stranding, and I'm sure it will evolve as I open more and more stuff. But now it feels like the combat is really refined in a way that I'm now enjoying every element of it. I hated the ghost apparition combat from the first game. They've simplified that. The boss battles that I have done as of yet are incredible as well. The base building, when you're actually, or not base building, the base combat when you're fighting actual human beings rather than the ghost beings and the stuff from the tar. That feels like Metal Gear, and that's been incredible as well. And then if you're into the zany stuff, it is so zany. Within 5 hours, they give you, I don't even understand this. Everyone's called Dead Man or Not Dead Man or all kinds of weird things. But they introduced this new puppet character where they're like, yeah, this guy's soul's in a puppet. And you're like, okay. And they don't even, that's it. That's the explanation. And he's like, you're going to bring that puppet everywhere. Okay. And so you have a puppet on your belt that talks to you the whole time, which it's already very weird. But then they made this thing where the whole game is 60 frames per second. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Except this thing is 10 frames per second.
Okay.
So it like jarringly sticks out like it's doing weird motions to the point that it's hilarious to see. It's got hilarious conversations with your main character, and then it feels like every time you meet new people or they get to a cutscene, what in the first one was very melodramatic and very much about like pollution and like the world being destroyed. Now they're like, hands off. It's about weird characters called Not Dead Man, and like it's
Puppet Man.
Or Puppet Man. It's like I'm enjoying it way more. It's not taking it nearly as seriously, and I'm actually looking forward to the next beat and the next story beat and the next weird thing. There's all kinds of little quality of life stuff that they improve, and there's a lot also of like minute stuff that I think is really cool. You always go back to this hub where you're at a bed and you have like slight interactions, but every time you go back there might be different interactions. Your puppet will do different interactions. If you go to the mirror, there's now 12 different animations and stuff. It's a very, very polished game that is surprisingly going to make it much higher on my list than I thought it was going to, for sure.
And the clips I've seen, the combat looks really fun in this one too. And I know you had mentioned the differences, but I did want to ask you as well, do you think in this scenario it's very important to play Death Stranding before too?
So the beauty is that I played the first one, I could not tell you the story. Okay, I played the entirety of it, and I not that I didn't pay attention, more that it was just so confusing, so all over the place, and at some point I just contextually I couldn't understand and couldn't take it in. I just gave up on it. This one, right off the bat, you could choose a summary of everything from the first game. And even the summary makes it sound complete like a lunatic's story. And they even make fun of it to some extent. That you can really just jump into this one and not know a bunch before. There will be some reoccurring characters from the first game. And if you watch that prequel video, you will get all that information, thankfully. But I think you could just jump into this and understand fairly quickly because the tutorial's easy. You'll understand walking from one place to the other. You'll understand the combat very quickly. And the story is not like, it's not a slap on the wrist. It's not so heavy-handed that I think you need to understand the full first game. So if you're thinking, should I play the first game? I say ignore the first one entirely. Just jump into the second one. It's the refined experience, and genuinely, I think it is. If the first game to me was like a 6 to 7, which is not good, not bad. I mean,
right, that is good.
6 to 7. So many people are so scared of giving games those ratings, but like 7s are good.
7s are good.
7s are good. They're just not incredible. I think this is a 9 already.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
so well deserved of all.
Well deserved. A lot of great improvements, and I've been enjoying it a whole lot. What have you been playing recently?
Yeah, so got a decent amount of gaming in this week. Obviously, this is like our biggest week of the year, especially with all the travel and stuff. But of course, me and Uno always manage to find some gaming time.
That's right.
I say this every single week, and I'm going to say it every single week until I stop playing it. Of course, every single morning playing Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. I think I'm 5 cards away from collecting everything in the base pack of the Eevee pack.
Whoa, that's the most recent one, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if I have said this yet, but Uno, I decided to premium pass it.
Oh.
I don't know if I've said that yet, but I am. I'm trying the premium pass.
No longer 2 packs a day. You get that third pack.
I get that third pack a day, and then some special items and stuff. So I'm loving the game so much. And again, the battle system is so fun. I'm definitely getting better. But yeah, more of the same. Collecting the cards, battling. Love Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. What a fun mobile game. Of course, too, I also casually with my brother. I always bring up my brother, who we game a lot all the time. We got to play some more Mario Kart World, which is fun. Just some Knockout Tour, which is great.
Oh yeah.
But I'd say the big, the big 2. Let me get into the third one, but I did play a little bit more of Expedition 33 on my Steam Deck. And all I did was I fought a boss. It was like in Gestural Village. I had recently gotten a 4th character. But truth be told, kind of all I wanted to say is I think, Uno, I'm going to end up pausing playing this game and maybe streaming it. Like, I feel like it's going to be special.
You stream like 4 or 5 hours at a time. It will only take you 4 probably streams to get towards the end anyways.
Oh, wow.
And you are about to hit like 3 very big lore moments.
That's what I've heard.
That is going to like, and knowing you're probably going to cry.
That's
So,
what I mean.
yeah,
So
yeah.
truth be told, too, is there's someone from the Chugs Army who I talked to, a moderator, Sarah. She's amazing. Hi, Sarah. But she sent me a message recently because she knows I'm playing it off stream, and I'm very much still in Act 1. I'm still very early in the game. The prologue rocked me to my core. I've said that before. Maybe the greatest intro to a game I've ever played, between the music and the acting and the visuals. God, it was beautiful. It's brilliant. And I played a little bit more. Well, she likes the same type of games that I do. Like, she loves Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. She was the one who was raving up and down about Final Fantasy 16. She just sent me a message saying, hey, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I'm playing this game. It's blowing my mind. I think you should stop. You might want to consider streaming it. Because my favorite way to play games in a perfect world
is experience it with others.
Yes, exactly. I would stream everything, but obviously that's not realistic per se. But I do think, based on that message and based on my experience with the game, the impact of the prologue, how much fun I'm having, maybe after I finish Lies of P Overture, which is what I'm going to jump into next, I might keep the 5-game cycle on hold and jump into
I think
33.
In about
What do you think?
A week after you start it, you'll probably be towards the end. I think you could do it.
Okay.
And I think honestly it would be the preferred way of doing it, because once the ball starts rolling and they start hitting you with these story beats, you're not going to want to wait several weeks to finish it.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. And I did manage all this time to avoid spoilers. So, but once again, Expedition 33 is amazing. Twitch.tv/thechugs, maybe streaming it sometime soon. But what I'm currently streaming at twitch.tv/thechugs is, of course, Lies of P Overture, the amazing DLC. Once again, I continue to say this about this DLC, but my God, did they knock this out of the park. I've already put hours and hours in. I do play games fairly slow, but what I've been so impressed by, once again, is this level design. Like, how big these levels feel, but how interconnected they are with the shortcuts and the optional paths and optional mini bosses and really, really cool new items and weapons to discover. It's that kind of the whole way through. I recently fought who I believe is my favorite boss that I've fought in the DLC so far. I'm being such a bonehead right now, but I can't recall her name. But it was in this really, really cool prison area with a bunch of coolant and like freeze damage. And she was a person who it wasn't a stalker, I believe a sweeper is the group she was in. But she had gone here to go to this alchemist place where they're doing all these experiments on people, like wrongfully. So they're going in to try to eliminate this from happening. But when they did, it was a trap. And all of them ended up getting infected and experimented on and stuff. And you catch her right at the start of her finally losing control of who she is. So it's like a human boss fight. But man, it's cool. She does a lot of burn damage, which is like the overheat status effect, which is destructive if you end up getting it. But just such an awesome... I died a few times, but it was one of those where it was pretty easy to pick up on and learn, but still really challenging. Once again, this DLC is definitely really hard. But yeah, Lies of P Overture has been so awesome.
People have been raving about it.
It's so good, dude. And I think the story in the original Lies of P was great, but the juicy lore in this DLC is even better. Oh, there's the awesome moment. I love when games do this too, and this is minor spoilers for the Lies of P Overture DLC. But after I'd played a chapter or two, there came a point where I started riding this train or whatever, and I'm like, where am I going? And you get to go to a back in time hotel crap, like the main hub area, which was so cool to see kind of what it looked like. And the most important thing in the world is in this hotel, because there is a kitty cat named Spring that is there. And
can you pet it?
Well, not only can you pet it, you can play with it. You can hang out with the cat.
That's how.
And best part, you get these little ancient discs that you collect throughout the DLC that you can trade in for more ergo, quartz, legion calibers to increase your legion arm. But the most important item you can get is a bell collar for the cat.
Hell yes.
And it's the first thing I did. So now every time you sit down, there's a place to sit right by the Stargazer. And when you sit down, Spring just comes walking up. And it changes, too. You don't know what type of animation you're going to get. Maybe she'll give you a little fist bump. Maybe she's playing with something in the air or, like, snuggling up to you. It's the best. It's maybe the best cat in a video game I've ever seen. And I played Stray. You know? Okay. So this cat is just so adorable. But, yeah, amazing DLC. Again, I can't wait to talk about it more. I keep hearing that the final boss in this DLC, like, is one of the toughest Soulsborne bosses ever.
You just came back from one of the toughest ones too.
Seriously.
So,
so I'm pretty nervous, but I will absolutely continue it. It's so good. But the real thing, actually, that I put time into the most that I haven't talked about.
Oh, and I'm interested in hearing about this one.
Yeah. So I'm wearing a shirt, so it's very appropriate. But as many of you know, I love Final Fantasy VII, one of my favorite games of all time. Mm-hmm. And what I love about PC gaming is the modding community. Like, there's so much awesome stuff out there. So many creative, brilliant minds who are able to find some of these older games that we love and modify them in some capacity. And oh my god, there is a Final Fantasy VII mod called New Threat 2.0 that is so unbelievably incredible to play. It feels like you're playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time again, because not only do you get updated graphics, upgraded models and backgrounds. Also, this mod has the FF7 Remake and Rebirth soundtrack added in instead of the original songs. And I love the original soundtrack, yes, but that was cool too. But the most important thing is it literally has changed story beats, boss battles, equipment abilities, and things like that. Like, it's a whole new game in so many different ways. For example, there will be, certain weapons that you get. For example, with Aerith, there's one, like the second weapon that I was able to get. And that weapon doesn't do physical damage to enemies, but if you hit yourself or your party member, it heals you to make Aerith, like, even more of a healer. Also, there are just different bosses at different points. For example, very early on in the game with, when you go through Sector 5, and then Cloud Barrett and Tifa normally have to fight Airbuster.
Yes.
Instead, you're fighting these, third soldiers. You're fighting like a group of 3 of like really, really tough Shinra soldiers, which is cool. Also, Tifa is the one who gets captured and taken to Shinra HQ.
Oh, so
and Aerith is with you instead.
Oh, that's interesting.
Aerith's mom, Elmira, also gets taken, so you have to like help her. But and also too, the boss fights are absolutely more difficult. Like, no question, it's definitely harder. But it's so cool to look at the different materia combinations and different weapon bonuses. I got the hard edge, for example, pretty early on. And with that, I had plus 50 vitality. So it didn't give me more damage, it just gave me more health. Mm-hmm. So, again, I'm maybe... I just left Midgar, so I put like a decent amount of time.
You're like a quarter of the way through,
but
probably.
Just getting started. And so many new bosses. Like, instead of fighting Rufus in Shinra HQ with Cloud, you fight a guy named Commando, who again is like a super powered up soldier. So bunch of new bosses, bunch of new enemies, bunch of new abilities and stats to focus on. It's like it takes the materia system, the armor system, the weapon system, and it kind of remixes it completely. So again, shout out to whoever made it, because I'm having such a good time with it. It's so cool. Once again, Final Fantasy VII New Threat, whole new spin on a game that is so beloved.
I love that communities will just take games that we all love, and at this point, this game's been remade, it's been remastered,
yep,
and everyone understands. One, they all know the story. We've heard the beats so many times.
Yep.
We understand the weaponry. You know how to play it. I love that people who love a game so much,
yep,
will decide, you know what, let's deconstruct it and reconstruct it in a way so that the people that know this game all the way through will be completely puzzled. Will
yes,
be it's such a breath of fresh air to like revisit a game, but it navigates the story in
yep,
ways you would never have thought.
It's amazing. And to be clear too, again, you absolutely still have to purchase the original Final Fantasy VII on Steam.
Yes, this is how mods work.
This is a love letter to the game. It really, really is. So it's, again, someone decided to do this just because they love Final Fantasy so much. It's completely free. Mm-hmm. If you know what you're doing, anyone can do it. So yeah, just so cool. For example, I know someone had made, I really want to play this mod at some point, but someone had modded Dark Souls 3 at one point, and it's practically Dark Souls 4. It's like,
like they expanded on it.
All
then.
New maps,
Ooh,
all new bosses, all new weapons. But it's so awesome. So there's so many mods and stuff because I'm still so new to playing modded stuff. But man, it's fun. It's so cool to see what people come up with.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that people invest so much time and you'll never see a dime from it.
Never.
It's just passion projects.
For the love of the game.
Like Mother 4 was one that was forever. The translation packs for Mother 3 as well. Fallout's got all these. Fallout has brand new games every year. There's a Fallout London. There's a Fallout. They do completely new locations, they do new stories as well. I love that there are people out there who are so fascinated with a game that they want to build their own version of that game.
I love you for it.
Yeah,
we
seriously,
love you for it.
thank you so much.
So
because
cool.
us video game nerds want nothing more than to revisit the past, but I've already done it so many times.
I know.
This is a perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
So yes, if you get a chance, that is called what?
New Threat.
Go check out New Threat 2.0. That's available as a mod. You do have to purchase the game on
Yes.
PC beforehand.
Yeah, on Steam,
and if you're playing other games, go check out the Steam mod community in
Seriously.
general. Almost every game has either quality of life stuff, HD pack stuff, or complete story beats that are unique. And you can find some real gold on them.
Yeah, in addition to, again, PC, without question, having the largest library of games, from the AAA of the most AAA games to the most indie of the indie games, like just hundreds of thousands of games. Again, the other thing that's so great about PC is indeed the modding community.
Yes.
You can find practically anything. It's so cool.
And
So
we love you for making them.
We do.
We love video games. That's it for what we play for this week, but there's actually a couple pieces of news that we want to discuss, and we will be discussing it right after this. And we're back. It's time to talk about the news of the week, and I want to start with a news piece that I know you are very excited for because you've been watching it all damn week, and because they've been doing games all week, the entirety of the time we've been here in Texas. You can watch about 24 hours a day.
Literally 24 hours.
Literally 24 hours a day, and we're talking about Summer Games Done Quick. That is the speedrunning festival for charity that happens every single year. Yesterday, I checked in very late because we're going to talk about a Fight Forever speedrun very shortly. But they were already at nearly $1 million raised, and there was still, I believe it stops. Right now, we are before Monday, obviously. I believe it stops Sunday.
I think Sunday
yes,
is the last day.
Which they'll probably reach 2 million, which they've done before as well.
Yeah,
it's an incredible feat to raise so much money.
It's unbelievable. And to be fair as well, is I actually just had it on a little bit ago before we started filming this. They did surpass 1 million.
There you go.
They did.
So there you go.
You're right. I could easily see them getting to 1.5, maybe even $2 million. But again, like you had mentioned, Uno, Summer Games Done Quick, Awesome Games Done Quick. Just one of the coolest events that happens in gaming every year. Not only because it's so cool to see all these people come together, there's awesome exclusive merch that comes out for these events and stuff too. But you're watching some of the best video games, some of your favorite video games, and you're watching these speedrunners just dismantle these games.
And it feels like a party because usually the
does.
crazy thing is this is at a convention. These people are playing online on Twitch or on you can also watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the room is filled with 1,000 people watching it like it's a stadium show.
Like it's a
and
wrestling
they're
show.
cheering like crazy. Every time someone does like a near-death thing that seems impossible, people are going insane. They're chanting. You see people leap up. It's an incredible feat to watch it. And you've been watching all week. I know on my end, there's one I want to watch. Blueprints. Somebody has been doing, which I don't even know how you speedrun this game, but some people have been doing speedrun through that. You would think it's not interesting, but somehow everyone's telling me you have to watch these. It's insane to watch these people dismantle this game so quickly. So I'm very excited to see that because that is not a game that is very easy to speedrun, I would not think. But there's all kinds of games that have been going on. You've been watching most of the week.
Yeah, so much. So literally, sometimes I'm able to sit there and intently watch, but honest to God, most of the time if I'm doing stuff around my house, I have it on in the background. I have fallen asleep to it every single night as well. But most recently, I watched a 4-player legendary co-op of Halo Reach, which is really wild to me. It's hard enough as one person to be able to stream and coordinate stuff, but for 4 people to come together and just run through this game is wild, especially on Legendary too. There was some speed runs there was a modded Mega Man. I think Mega Man Maker is what it's called, and this guy went and played through this practically this Kaizo Mega Man level, which was just so wild to see. But again, you see a bunch of stuff. I saw Doom the Dark Ages as well, and watching a guy to see where the guy was, because I'm still going through Doom the Dark Ages. This guy was at a level I had never seen before 12 minutes into the run. And I was like, I played this game for hours, and I'm not here yet.
I think I'm 4 chapters away at this point.
Right. Yeah. So it's so cool. Again, raising money for Doctors Without Borders, which is just so incredible.
Yeah, an incredible feat to be doing that, and honestly a great purpose Because this could be just happening for fun.
Yep.
But, they have a great purpose behind it, and people are just showing up like crazy. Either you're watching it, either the donations. And there's a little bit of news that we want to talk about. AW Fight Forever, for the first time ever, actually did appear on Games Done Quick. There was a 1 a.m. stream for us. I could not stay awake for it because we've been working all week, and Evil, needs to go to bed every now and then. But they beat the entirety of the story mode, which I think I might be one of the people who's played the most of this game, seeing as I had to do PR for it and obviously have my hands on it constantly. I beat the story game mode, I think, 7 times at this point, and that's like a 15-hour course.
Okay.
This man, and let me get his this person.
Yes.
Pork Chop 44 beat it in 40 minutes. I don't even understand how. And I saw little short clips about and they're glitching through stuff. Characters don't even look like what they look like. People are going insane for it. Do check it out. It's on YouTube. And honestly, any game you think is probably being speedrun.
It's probably on there.
It's out there. Go online, and if you can, go check out Summer Games Done Quick, because there is a library of 7 days worth, 24 hours. There's so much content you can spend the next year watching.
And they also upload every single run to YouTube.
Yes.
So if you miss it live, you can go back and watch them anytime you want. And what I love too about speedrunning is all the different categories. Like there was a Sekiro run that was glitchless.
Yes.
Like on purpose, you weren't allowed to glitch. But then there might be a Sekiro run later on in the week where you're allowed to glitch and you beat the game in 2 minutes instead of instead of 2 hours.
So sometimes you can die, and dying will actually, if you die in a specific place, will teleport you to another location.
Yep.
So certain games, they do no death runs, which implies they can't use like these specific tactics, and somehow they still manage to cut like 15 hours from these runs.
Yeah. They really are. These speedrunners they're masters of the game. They love this game so much, and they play it so much that they have like pinpointed every single aspect of this game and figured out how to just go as fast as possible. It really is like just proof of how much they love that specific game. I'm sure there are some times when you're speedrunning where they probably are like, oh my god, I don't want to play this again. But man, it's so fun to watch.
And like if you're thinking you want to speedrun as well, it's a collaborative experience. It's not like you're single-handedly trying to decipher all of it. They have forums, they discuss it, they tell you the exact time, they'll give you clips of how you do it, and literally if someone finds a new trick, rather than keep it for themselves, they'll disclose it because they want to be the fastest, but they also don't want to hide any tricks. They'll just discuss, hey, I can't believe this, but if you die in this location, it'll teleport there. Well, within the next week, every person who's speedrunning that is implementing that in, and then a PR record might be 18 minutes. It's now down to 17, and everyone's approaching that 17 mark, just trying to lower it. It's incredible to think that everyone's united in one cause, being, obviously raising money, but also everyone's united in the speedrunning community, and all they care about is just, it doesn't matter who has the speedrun record, let's just try and destroy these games as quickly as humanly possible. It's incredible.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I think practically every single run that I have watched, at the end, the speedrunner up on stage will say what their Discord is for the community of everyone who speed runs that game, and everyone talks about how welcoming everyone is, and like you said, they tell people tips or tricks and stuff like that. So again, obviously everyone wants to be the best, but they all love competing against each other and being so welcoming for the love of speedrunning that specific game. So yeah, just unbelievable communities.
And they're doing like live commentary during this, so like as they're doing the glitches, most of them will explain, I do this because on this frame, if I hit this frame, it actually doesn't have time to load in the skins, so it actually restarts on this model, but that model's actually started on a different map, so that makes me clear 10 hours of progress. They will explain all of that as you're watching it. So if you're watching a game for the first time, or you're watching a game that you've played numerous times over, but you're seeing a speedrun for the first time, they will explain it in a way that even you will understand watching it. So I would highly advise, if you get the chance and you are interested in anything we just talked about, go out of your way, because there's going to be so much content to watch. I know I haven't watched more than like 20 minutes of stuff this week, but post this text this week, my whole week, probably my flights and stuff, I'll be downloading some of that stuff and I'll be watching that for sure.
Yeah, so fun.
Other news that we've had this week, and we do have to disclose it, but I will be honest with you, neither of us ended up watching this thing, which is a crime, but also I could not find 30 minutes of my life at this moment because of what a busy week for us, both of us. Week. It's been insane. I cannot wait to get 2 days straight to just play video games and watch this stuff. Too. But Ghost of Yote, that is the Ghost of Tsushima sequel that is coming out October 2nd this year, exclusive to PS5. Probably going to come out in PC in the future if the PlayStation seems to do that on a 1-year retainer on a console and they do it later on. But they just dropped a 20-minute deep dive into the video game. Ton of gameplay, ton of interviews with the developers. I would love to tell you everything that's in it, but we have not watched it. But I will be able to disclose some of this stuff. They did mention that this is much larger than the first game. They really made the experience to be however you want to approach it. So it does not have a linear path. If you want to focus on exploring, you could do that. If you want to focus on combat, if you want to focus on story, or if you just want to go around and do whatever you want, you can do that. They also talked that markers on the map are not actual straight markers. You know, you can't GPS system it. You can follow the leaves. If you follow like the first game, they'll probably dictate some of the main story beats. But in this one, you end up looking through like a mini telescope, and if you see, much like Breath of the Wild or anything, if you see anything of interest on the horizon, that's a thing you can now visit. So it's assuming you see something in the distance and you just beeline for it, and that's kind of how it's structured for it.
That's cool.
They also disclosed
it's more immersive.
Of course,
yeah, that's great.
Ever since Breath of the Wild, I didn't realize that having the GPS system on games and having maps with markers actually hindered part of the experience for me, because I love, if you give me a blank map and I get to decide what goes on it, that's a game of its own to me. The exploration is by far way better. And the other thing is they expanded on the combat. They say this combat is by far their best combat. They added a ton of stuff on top of what was already in the base engine of the first game. And the Kurosawa mode, that's the black and white throwback to old samurai movies, is back on this one as well. So you can play it in full color. You can play it in high contrast black and white. That's all I know about. This is one of the things I read. But if you get the chance, go check it out on YouTube. The state of play is there. I'm hoping by the time we post this, I will have watched it. Yes. I think I will as well. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was a work of art. Like, it was so good. And I think at this point, with the exception of Silksong, which is 100% gonna drop in 2025.
It's happening.
100%.
I don't even care how often we say it.
Mark, I'm just gonna keep saying it until it happens.
Look,
I'm gonna keep saying it.
Look, I'll be a liar.
Looking you right in your eyes.
Yes.
Team Cherry. No. But yeah, so I think Ghost of Yote is my most anticipated game. This year.
Yes, it's been on my most anticipated since because we've seen a teaser late last year, I think before, and we've had so many incredible games this year already.
Unreal.
And somehow I'm still irking for this game more than most of the games I've played this year. I've had a lot of surprises. Expedition 33 was not on my list.
Yeah, sure.
Blueprints was not on my list. Death Stranding 2, I thought, whatever, it'll be a write-off. I'm enjoying that a whole lot.
Nice.
This is one of the ones that I have high expectations for, and I think they will be met because the team that works on that is incredible. Looks like an incredible game. And, by now, if the first game is still stunning, this must be a piece of art.
Out of this world.
I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
So that comes out October 2nd. Hopefully, we will be playing it very soon. Next week, by the way, Donkey Kong's out.
Oh my God! It is next week.
Yes. I just want to next week guarantee. That's what I'm talking about.
I can't. Me too.
There's no way around it. That's
I
what
can't
we're
wait
doing.
for next week.
That's the 17th. All right. Other big news. EA's 2017 shooter Star Wars Battlefront 2 is back in the news for very weird reasons, because that game won 2017 game, not on the top sellers list. It was actually number 135 last month. So very removed. And now it's sitting in May at number 12. Which is very wild because, and this is a twofold thing, is that May the 4th happened and people started online through social media talking about how Battlefront 2 is one of their best games that was ever created and how it was an incredible Star Wars experience. And that fanfare alone on that one day led to a bunch of sales. Led to a record numbers of play in the last decade for this one game. And then on top of that, they have their most recent show, Andor, I believe. Yeah. I have not seen it. I'm not a Star Wars head. I kind of gave up after second season of Mandalorian. But that is doing incredibly well, and I guess there's a new form passion for Star Wars again. So very, very surprising to see it on this list. I'm sure next month it will be dropped off entirely.
Right. But I just think, too, because I remember I had seen some videos pop up from some content creators I follow who had posted videos of them playing this specific game. And it's got to be so cool for people who played Battlefront 2 a while back and talked about how much they missed the days of like playing it online, and for a few days for them to be able to hop on there and like
there's actual,
the lobbies to be packed. That had to be such a cool thing. So I'm so happy for everyone who's
especially like in a world now that we're seeing a lot of games being shut down.
I know
a lot of like any online game, once the user base is gone, it's hard to keep it alive. It's great to see that 8 years later that is still alive and doing at least somewhat well.
The game looks like a blast, by the way.
I've never played them.
It looks so fun.
I think I played a little bit of the first one, but I did not play the sequel at all. Last week we talked a little bit about the layoffs. Of course, still horrible news. But I did want to make a correction. Last week we talked about how Xbox fired Doom creator John Romero's studio. While that did happen, the studio is not closed.
Oh, good.
They are staying independent, and he is, or the team is, still looking to publish their canceled games through Xbox. Beautiful. And there seems to be a bunch of interest. So there's a bunch of publishers that are discussing with them. So that is a slight good news coming out from last week. I'm hoping we'll hear more of that stuff as well, because I hate when I hear a game cancellation and a staff layoffs, because first staff layoffs, a very sad thing that happened to people. People have families. No one should ever want that.
There's friends of ours.
Like little friends of ours. And even if we were not friends, I would never want that on anyone as well. Yeah. But on top of that, as a nerd and as someone who wants to play big games, I hate knowing that there are video games out there I'll never get to touch.
I know.
And that people are highly talking about. So very good to hear that John Romero will still be making their shooter projects, and that there is some interest on that as well. Yeah. Last piece of news I want to talk about today is, I think, a very cool one, because Stardew Valley, the incredible farming game, is now the Steam's top-rated game ever.
Wow.
It's constantly been updated. If you play Stardew Valley, it's an ongoing joke that the developer, oh my God, Concerned Ape? Is that it? I believe that's what it is. Okay. They're supposed to make a next game, and I believe they're working on it, but they're constantly updating this game so often that people are like, please, I understand, but make this next game. This is such a great game already. You don't need to. But they keep dropping these pieces of content that adds 20, 30 hours to this, making what was Stardew Valley when it came out, I believe, almost, 7, 8 years ago, is now 4 times the video game 8 years later, and probably still going to get a bunch of updates. It's now the top-rated game on Steam, meaning it has the best rating of any Steam game ever, dethroning a Valve classic originally, which I believe was Half-Life 2.
I figured it was Half-Life 2.
Yes.
That's amazing. So I have Stardew Valley downloaded on my Nintendo Switch 1.
Yes.
Just because of how popular it became, but I still have never played it.
So I have a fair warning on this. I didn't like farming games until this game. It dominated 8 months of my life. It not that it caused troubles in my household, but like people would come over and I'd be like, yeah, just one more day, and I would play 7 days straight. And I'd be like, yeah. It's. I would love to go back, and I think about it quite often. I just don't know if I want to invest my 400th hour on this right now. But hey. Kudos to everyone that's still playing it. It seems like an incredible game. Great news for that developer. One person, by the way.
Unreal.
Minecraft,
one person.
Unreal.
Undertale, one person.
It is. It's just crazy to think that people are so talented that they can make incredible games, but just that a team of 3,000 can make a game, and It looks incredibly polished. A team of one can make an incredible game, and it is the highest rated game of all time.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for Stardew Valley, and if you have not played it, yes, it is worth your time. Go out of your way. That is it for the news this week. There is other pieces of news, but we're not too informed on it, so we don't want to disclose it quite yet. But that's not it for our podcast, because our favorite segment of the show, the Mailbag, comes up after this. Welcome back. It's time for the Arcade Mailbag, our favorite segment of the show, brought to you by our friends at UpperDeck.com. Collect your favorite wrestlers from 2024's, 2025's, or the Allure AEW Upper Deck packs and start your trading collection today. Get your cards right now, unwrap autographs, memorabilia, and premium tech inserts. You can go to visit UpperDeck.com to learn so much more. We do not have a pack to unpack this week,
unfortunately.
But surprisingly enough, you unpacked a bunch of stuff on a panel this week.
So much today. So many Upper Deck packs. And it was awesome.
Yes.
It was awesome. So many good cards.
I actually, I did a 4-hour meet and greet, and I saw so many cards that I had never seen of myself. Yeah. There's just constantly new cards coming out of us. And even crazier is, for the first time ever on the Allure pack, I saw a Dark Order card that had all 3 pieces of gear in it. So, I'd never seen one. I've never signed one of that. So someone out there has a fully signed, all 3 Dark Order members with 3 pieces of our gear in that.
Oh, dude.
I don't know if that's going to be worth a lot, but that's the rarest thing I've seen in a card as of yet.
That's amazing.
If you're into trading cards, go to UpperDeck.com. Thank you, as always, to Upper Deck. We've got 3 questions today. Started off, Chugs, who do we got first?
Yes. First up, we have Walter. Walter, thank you very much for the question. Walter says, hey, Chugs and Uno. I don't know if you heard, but there are rumors of Smash Bros. N64 coming to Switch Online.
I hope
That's
so.
That'd be awesome. And I'm stoked at the chance of playing it with online matchmaking. What retro game would you love to see with online multiplayer?
Ooh.
Walter, that is a great question.
Great question.
Going off of your answer, actually, I think Smash Bros. Melee would be awesome to be added.
Often the one that people prefer the most.
Many people
yes.
say that's their favorite Smash Bros. Of all time. So to see that with GameCube being added recently would be really, really cool. And then also, quite a few people I know, their favorite Mario Kart is Mario Kart Double Dash. So I think some Mario Kart Double Dash
love it.
online would be amazing too. So
which is very possible because we now have that GameCube classics that have been dropping on there.
Yes.
Yes. I actually thought about this very hard because I was like, I barely played multiplayer games.
Yeah, more
you know, I if I could, I would get Revenge. I would get No Mercy on those as well. But then I thought about it. I've been talking about this game so often. You don't need to bring Power Stone back. Just give me Power Stone 1 and 2 with online services and a few quality of life's improvements, and I would be set. I would be set, and I would be very, very happy. What about you? Go to youtube.com/AEW Games. Let us know what game you would like to see with online multiplayer, a game that is retro and nostalgic to you.
Yes, Walter, great question. And next up, Sebastian. Sebastian says, hey, Chugs and Uno, did you pick up anything from the Steam summer sale or earlier this year that's still sitting in the backlog? I'm curious how big your backlogs of games actually is. I finally got around to playing RoboCop, Rogue City, and the Trepang 2 after getting both on sale, and they're awesome. RoboCop is super faithful to the franchise, and if you're into the Fear series, I would definitely try Trepang 2. It's a more modern version of it. Sebastian, awesome question.
Great question.
So, I blew it, and I did not take advantage of the Steam summer sale, unfortunately. However, Sebastian, you're right. My backlog is kind of out of control. I could literally sit here, I think, for an hour and talk about all the games that are in my backlog that have been downloaded. But my most recent one on Steam is a game called Fear and Hunger 2 that I recently purchased. A
very adult game.
Very
adult game.
Very adult game.
I was stunned at how adult this game was.
Yeah, I was actually considering not even. I'm going to make people want to look for it even more. But I was considering even mentioning it, honestly. It is so mature and intense and grotesque.
Yes.
It's like Uno said, very adult game. Maybe the most punishing turn-based RPG that I've ever seen.
So I've heard.
Yeah, at least I've seen from the clips. But I've been so intrigued and fascinated. Like, for example, this game is so punishing, and this is from watching videos, but you can be walking around and randomly, if you step on a rusty nail, you can eventually get poisoned and die if you don't find the proper item to heal it, and you might have trouble finding that item. Also, there are coin flips in this game where it's a 50-50 shot. Maybe if you go to save or if you go to rest to repair your health. If you get heads, you're good to go. If you get tails, you maybe get killed in your sleep. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's absolutely crazy, but in like the most wild way possible. So that game is still on my backlog. But that's the most recent game that I got.
So just recently on the Steam Summer Sale, I only bought one game that was No Rest for the Wicked. Not on a backlog because I'm actively playing it right now. But I did want to show you just kind of the type of purchases I make, because here is, if you are on YouTube, the length of my Steam purchases in what is the last 3 months alone.
Let's go, dude.
And I've played a good amount of these, but just to give you a few names of things that I'm like, I want to get to it. Post Void, that's a first-person shooter that I hear incredible things to. And then I was also in this first-person shooter, I really wanted to play more of them because Doom was so good that I decided, I'm going to find, a lot of like fast-moving first-person shooters. So Post Void was one. Molded Matt Jack, which I still haven't played. It's supposed to feel a lot like, what was Bullet Storm?
Okay.
So it does feel like that, but very, very colorful. Then I got a bunch of mystery games. Interrogation, You Will Be Deceived. Murders on Yangtze River. That is a game that's kind of like Ace Attorney. I got 5D Chess, which is about doing chess, but with time travel. I don't know why. It looks very interesting to me. I really want to go in. And then Raging Loop, which is a story game that I hear incredible things about. That is just a few of the things that are on my list. And that spans up to 3 months ago right there alone. So that alone, and then I don't even want to talk my larger backlog.
I was going to say, that could be that could be a week's worth of episodes.
I think
7 episodes.
I genuinely think it would make me sad to disclose how many games I own that I've never played.
Right.
Yeah, because I think I have 3,000 Steam games.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been a Steam user for over 11 years now.
Still, what a catalog.
Yes.
What a catalog.
It was too much.
Hey, you talking about fast-paced shooters, and I know this is kind of off topic.
Yes.
Have you played Ultra Kill before?
No.
Oh, man. It looks... Talk about fast-paced. That's another one to add to the backlog.
I'm putting it on my list right
and
now.
I did want to mention as well, because this goes into our questions from last week, a game that very soon is going to be added to my backlog and then won't be there for long because I got to start playing it, is a game recommended by you, Doki Doki Literature Club.
That's right.
Because we are going to do that.
That's right. We talked about our challenges from last week. Yes, I will be playing Halo Reach.
Yes.
And you will be playing
Halo Reach or Sea of Stars.
Or Sea of Stars, that's true.
And mine was Doki Doki Literature
or
Club.
Return of Obra Dinn.
And I chose for now Doki Doki Literature
It's honestly
Club.
the shorter experience for sure.
Okay.
I think I'm going to end up jumping on Reach.
Cool.
I did see, actually at a meet and greet today, somebody told me, hey, I was listening to the podcast, big fan. They actually had a big sign for us on the ROH pay-per-view today.
Oh, that's
and you're
awesome.
probably going to see it tomorrow on the pay-per-view as well. But they were saying, hey, before you play Sea of Stars, there's actually a prequel that's a Metroidvania that you should go out and play. I sent you a link. It's in your YouTube comments from the previous show.
Excuse me?
Yes.
There's a Metroidvania prequel to Sea of Stars.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So yes.
Thank you.
So there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. We will be playing that. I don't know if I will be ready by next week because of how my travels are.
Right.
But by the week after,
in the next week or two,
both of us will probably start our challenge on that.
Yep.
And we will try to bring that in regularly because I know how much people have enjoyed it.
I do, and I do think that's such a great idea. It's fun for us too.
Yes,
because
of
we
course.
both love video games and we both have things that we like more. It's a cool way to expand our.
It also helps to know what to jump into on my back catalog.
Yes, exactly.
Because
sometimes it's so overwhelming.
Oh my god.
Like,
It's like
Netflix,
Netflix, when like you like scroll for 2 hours and then you realize, man, I don't know what to start.
This is so off topic, but there have been so many times I turn on my PC or my console and I'll just look at the games that I have and I won't even choose what to play.
Always.
Or I'll go back to Halo
Game
or
Pass,
something.
Same idea.
Yeah. But anyway, Sebastian, thank you very much. And last but not least, Alan with a question. Alan says, "Hey, Chugs and Uno, as we all know, there's never been a good Superman game. But I'd love to hear your opinion on what would make a Superman game work. Let's hear your Superman game pitches." Alan, my answer is quite simple. Make them like the Arkham games, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Just make them like.
Oh my god.
But in all seriousness, yeah, the Arkham game's incredible. But man, we talked about this briefly as well. But like a Superman game where you can fly through an open world and that feels cool, kind of similar to how swinging around as Spider-Man feels really cool, would be awesome.
That has to be like the main part because that's the most thing. That's the thing you're gonna do the most of.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And I think again, the combat being similar to the Arkham games needs to be really fun. Obviously, you want the story to be really good. I want side missions and collectibles and things like that. But I seriously think I agree with you. I think the biggest thing is traversal needs to be fun, and it needs to at least feel large. I'm not saying it needs to be the biggest open world ever, but it needs to be super fun to fly around.
I actually thought of two things that I think would actually make the game very fun too, is that Superman can fly, but he can also fly beyond the city, and if I could like pop out of the atmosphere No Man's Sky style and just go a little further down to go into like a different map, I think that would feel incredible.
That would be sick.
And combat-wise, it can't be like Batman. He's too strong. If you can give me destructible environments, if I could level a building by punching a person through it, I think that would look incredible. And also, we're at a point now where stuff is advanced enough that I think you could do that now.
I think you could,
know, like there was destructible environments back in like PS2.
Oh yeah,
we're now
like Red Fraction.
Yes, exactly.
For, and that holds up great to this day.
Yes, exactly.
So,
and I feel like that would make it so different from a Batman, which if you did another Arkham right now, I would be so ecstatic. But yes, I think that would make an incredible Superman game. And also, with the Superman movie that just dropped out, I think that is a great time to do it.
Perfect time.
I will probably see that next week.
That should be on our 2026 wish list, I think.
Make a good Superman game.
Make a good open world Superman game.
I think we're close to it. I think it'll happen.
Yeah,
I think it'll happen.
I think so. Great question, Alan. Really, everyone, Walter, Sebastian, and Alan, thank you very much for your questions. This is our favorite single segment every week. So
of course. And if you want your questions answered, go to tbs.com/arcade mailbag. That is where you can send your questions for us. We will read 3 at the end of every single show. As always, you can find us every single week. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that like, whatever it needs to notify you about our podcast. It drops every single Monday on all podcasting networks, but also a video format, youtube.com/AWGames. You can also drop in the comments there. Evil Uno goes to read them, and that is by far the easiest repository of your feedback for us. So if you have a comment, you want improvements, or you want us to play certain games or have some suggestions, do go to youtube.com/AWGames. That is the easiest place for us to read them. We're on Twitch. This week, I have my big mystery wrestling show on my birthday, twitch.tv/EvilUno. Do check that out. The Chugs is playing that big DLC.
Oh, yeah. Twitch.tv/The Chugs. Once again, I'm going to be continuing to go through the Liza P. Overture DLC. It's awesome. Also, I think this week, and hopefully, I don't want to jinx myself, but for the next few weeks, I think I'm going to be able to stream a bit more consistently. The past few weeks with the travel schedule, getting a puppy, it's been like 1 or 2 streams a week. I think I might be able to get 4 or 5 this week.
Yeah, we have a residency in Chicago, and I'm so excited knowing that I don't have to travel as far.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Like 3 days straight at home. Oh, it's been a month at least.
Yeah.
So yes, do check us out on Twitch, of course, and follow twitch.tv/AWGames, because every Monday night, MXM or us will be on there playing video games. You can also find MXM's show, Bernami Code, on our YouTube page, youtube.com/AWGames. We all appreciate you listening. We couldn't do this without you. And of course, we've met so many of you over the last week talking about the podcast. We greatly, greatly appreciate you for the listen and for your support. And we will see you next week for another episode of All Elite Arcade. Bye-bye.